Welcome back, tribe. We've got an interesting one here recommended. 36-year-old, I have no friends. I haven't seen this one either, but the guy here looks by all means completely normal dude, if not even above average. I would classify him as like pretty good looking cat for 36. Obviously he's in shape. Looks like he's coming back from or going to the gym, but 36, no friends. What's going on here? Let's see.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So it's been just over 3 years since I posted my first video on here about having no friends. And these videos are about exactly as uncomfortable as they were back then when I was 32, almost 33. And I just turned 36 a little over a month ago. So I think now is a better time than ever to give an update, specifically addressing, the last few years. Have I built friendships between that time? How has life gone in general in that time? And to kick it off, just in full transparency, unfortunately, over the last 3 years, again, not for a lack of effort, but I have failed to establish any very meaningful friendships, in person at least. And it's for a multitude of reasons. And this isn't going to be a video like the first one that was as self-deprecating or as...
There we go. Okay.
I'm not going to grovel as much, or I'm not sure how to put it. I definitely have learned a lot about myself over the last few years. So if anything, this is more of like a reflective video. But I do want to lay that out front. And this is not any sort of pity party or anything like that. But yeah, we'll just jump right into it. So I think one of the main reasons, I guess there's multiple reasons that we've discussed before about why it's challenging for me to build friendships. And over these last few years, thanks to a lot of comments I've gotten, a lot of DMs and things, and thank you to everybody who's, tried helping out a little bit. A lot of these reasons stem from, really early in life. I think, unfortunately, I've had a mindset for a long time where I thought I could outwill or be tougher than the feelings that I've had about myself, about any shortcomings I have, insecurities, any of those things. I thought I could just outwork all of those things. And, a little bit after the pandemic, that's really when things started to come to light about, I guess, how I feel about myself. It was just hard to say. And it's sad to say. But I think this is going to be another rambling video, which is unfortunate because I wish I could put it a little more eloquently or put it into a neat little pyramid or box. But yeah, I think I'm still struggling now with the same things that I struggled with many years back. As far as not self-sabotage, somewhat, I guess.
It's good. See, do you notice that the more we're doing this, the more you're starting to notice the patterns that people have that gets them in this exact predicament? When I tell you guys you're in full control of your life, this is what I mean. Negative, self-deprecating, the mentality is adversarial against yourself. You don't think you're good enough. A lot of the groveling, woe is me, all from that 57-year-old to the 27-year-old virgin to the 36-year-old dude could pass off as a Chad. He's not a bad looking guy whatsoever. Shouldn't have any problems with women. Everything 36-year-old isolated, no friends. Are you noticing that this is always coming down to personality issues, temperament issues, the way you speak to yourself in your head, your mentality? Yes, guys, it takes effort to find friends and make new connections and cultivating long-term relationships, especially in friendships. But it all starts from you. If your energy is negative, if you're constantly a self-deprecating, low vibration, nitpicking, critiquing little Nancy constantly all the time, just, woe is me, life is hard, yeah, and all this shit, why would anybody want to even be your friend? How do you think people magnetize to others? If you have somebody in your life or a guy whose energy is always up there, man, high, always the life of the party. Oh, you don't have to be that guy, but be a variation of that. You have to be fun to be around. You put a smile on people's face, be the jokester, say something. You have to have some form of energy that people want in order to be around you. If you're this guy's energy level that he has in the video, or the 57-year-old or the 27-year-old virgin, you repel people, including women. No one wants to hang around somebody that just mopes all day.
Definitely overanalyzing things.
Yeah.
Which has grown over the years, and like it's self-perpetual. Like it's.
Peep this. If you're not in the private community, it's the perfect time to plug this book anyways. You don't have to join the private community. You go on Discord. It's free. Get this book. It'll change your life. I'm telling you guys, we cover it in the private community. Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. I'm not bullshitting you when I tell you this book is one of the few books that changed my life, and it's one of the few books that I read consistently because the psychological information this book gives you, how your mind works, self-image, is life-changing. You can be a moping piece of shit the rest of your life, or you can buy a book for like $12, whatever it costs, read it, internalize the information, and start making changes. If you need your handheld or you need a group of men to keep you accountable, you can join the private community. Links are all in the description below. I'm only pushing that because some of you need the extra push or you want to be a part of the private calls we do. It's all on the second channel where I link this shit at. If you need a group of men that meet 4 times a week and have conversations, that could be the spark you need to get you started on your journey. But first and foremost, buy the goddamn book, read it front to back, read it multiple times, highlight sections, internalize all the information, digest everything thoroughly, and start making changes in your life. This is all self-inflicted, guys. There's nothing wrong with this dude on the exterior. Like the 57-year-old, if I could jack a controller into his brain and literally make him move up, down, left, right, all these combinations, I could change his entire life completely overnight, dude. It'll be a lived experience of, it would seem like to him somebody he can't even recognize, completely different person. It's the same dude. All that changes is behavior. And all that is thoughts.
I'm causing this issue and it keeps growing and growing and growing. And sometimes it will cool down and then it comes back up. Like most recently, it's been, I've been having issues with it for a while now. To be candid, probably 6+ months. And it's challenging because now more than before, I understand why I feel the way I feel. Why I overanalyze things, which is interesting because I almost prefer to be a little more like blissfully ignorant, if that makes sense.
Bullshit.
I still thought I was different than the majority of people. I still thought something was, wrong with me. I did definitely still think poorly of myself in certain ways. And I was an overthinker for sure, maybe not to this degree. But I think all of that was like, probably at least 50% less annoying. I don't know how else to put it. Now that I know why I feel the way I feel, although that should make you feel a little bit better.
The accountability, it's not less annoying. It's just, it hurts more because now you have to be accountable for what you've discovered. He now knows why he's doing what he's doing, and his subconscious is eating away at him because he keeps doing it anyways. That's why it's annoying, because now you're not moving up off your ass after identifying the problem. This is called accountability, boys, and he's not taking it. Step 1 is identifying the problem. Step 2 is rectifying it. You're stuck in between step 1 and step 2.
And give you some sort of comfort, which it doesn't.
Exactly.
Honestly, yeah. It's just more frustrating because it's like, I know all of these things that I need to do.
You see?
I know how to make friends. Like if I really
wanted to
put effort into it.
There it is. There it is, dude. The premise of the whole video. I know what I have to do. I just don't want to do it. The work. I don't want to put in the effort. I'm okay with where I'm at. I'm content with my life. Mediocrity, being alone, no friends, no girl, no prospects for anything happy. Why? Because I'm content. I'm okay. Despite me bitching on camera. I'm not saying for this guy specifically, but the dudes in the comment sections and everybody else that watches this video and may relate, despite bitching, despite crying about your position in life, everything that's happened to you, why you're so lonely and single, you know deep down inside it's because of you. You can't blame something external. It's you. You don't want to put in the effort. You don't want to put in the work. You don't want to change. Why? Because you're comfortable where you are. This is the brutal truth, man. This is the shit people hate when they have to hear the truth like this. You rather I pat you on the head and tell you you're doing a good job. You're a good little boy. You work so hard. It's everyone else's fault but you. It's all women's fault. You want me to cover those videos blaming women for everything? You want me to cover all those videos blaming the government for everything? They are part of the problem. And in comparison to you, a small part. You are your own biggest problem. Everything else is a distant second place. Women are a distant second place. Women aren't even a problem. in a man's life until a man makes that a problem. A lot of dudes shoot themselves in the foot repeatedly. They know they're doing this and they repeatedly shoot themselves in the foot. And after they've blown their foot off 10 million bullet holes, they go, why is this happening to me? I blew my foot off again. Whose fault is it this time? It's crazy, dude. Listen, I swear, boys, please, you have to listen to me. If there's ever shit you pay attention to in these videos, it's this. This book, I'm telling you, you can find it for free online if you search hard enough. There's like PDFs that have been copied. I think somebody in the private community actually shared the free PDF for the dudes that are not buying the book for whatever reason. Digest everything this book has to offer. Literally will change your life if you're willing. You could take a horse to water, but you can't force his ass to drink. A lot of men are in that position. I'm showing you guys how to escape the mental prison you are in, but you refuse to do the work. So for those that are ready to receive the message, buy the goddamn book. Invest in yourself mentally for once instead of consuming video games and porn and YouTube videos and all this shit to stroke your ego and your dopamine and all that. Get off YouTube, get off my channel, go read the fucking book and don't come back until you finish.
I just get in my own way, to be honest.
No shit.
And I think it's tied to overthinking and some sort of social anxiety for sure. And then I feel like I get caught in the same cycle of
stop feeling,
thinking
stop self-diagnosing
myself, because sometimes I would, but I also think that's a cop-out that I've kind of established over the years because I'm used to doing so many things without friends. There's so many reasons. It's challenging. But I'll explain the overthinking part. And this like spills into friendships for sure, but this impacts my whole life. And I don't think people know the degree to which it does, but most of the day, even right now making this video, if I'm at work, especially if I'm talking to anybody really, I have an inner monologue going on almost the whole time. So it's at least, let's say 10 hours out of the day, to be realistic, I'm overthinking what I'm saying as I'm saying it. This is especially obvious when I'm at work and I'm giving a presentation or I'm walking through a new work stream or whatever I'm doing. I'm spending most of that time thinking about what I'm saying and thinking how maybe stupid I look or how I sound weird. Like I've always had this weird thing where I think that I don't know how to put it. I think that I can't speak well. And I think a lot of that stems from me being very quiet when I was younger and modeling the behavior of like my dad, for instance, who is very quiet and meek. And I think that even while I'm talking, I feel so much imposter syndrome, whether that's at work or with a group of people. And although I'm pretty confident over everything I've learned the last few years, that no one is really seeing that. And this is all literally in my head. And I'm sure a lot of you can attest to understanding that feeling, which is unfortunate because I'm almost having three things happening in parallel with each other. Like one, I'm speaking audibly. Two, I'm in my own head, basically telling myself all the things I'm saying incorrectly, or if I'm not using the correct verbiage or something. There's so many different elements to it, but so those are happening. Then I have a third one now since I've learned more things. So this is the frustrating part. I have another voice, which is a more productive version of myself, reminding myself that
you have a negative self-image. That's all it is. You've constructed an identity within your mind of who you are. You are this nervous, second-guessing, negative Nancy who can't get any words out because he's constantly thinking and overthinking and overanalyzing. That's the mental picture of yourself you've built up in your head, and you subconsciously will act it out forever. You'll learn that when you read the book. There are techniques for you to completely reshape your mental image of yourself, the mental picture. You can't work this out in the gym. You can't affirm this shit out of you every day. Nothing works. No mental affirmations, no physical pursuits. Nothing will work long term until you completely redesign the mental image you have of yourself in your deep subconscious.
I'm self-sabotaging and the things I'm thinking about myself aren't true and that people aren't thinking these things. So not only am I talking out loud, I'm having like an old, younger version of myself saying all the negatives and the doubts and all those things. Then I have a nicer version of myself, a more mature version who sees things as they are, telling that version that, I don't know, everything's okay, that I'm normal, that my point is coming across, I'm speaking well. Like it's constantly those two battling. And it happens like I said, for the majority of the day in most conversations. Sometimes I can break out of that and not think much, and that's nice. But honestly, oftentimes I'm overthinking or talking to myself while I'm talking, which is really frustrating. And I'd like to understand more about like how to cool that inner monologue down.
Yeah, read the book, bro. You need the book.
Because like the one benefit I would say is I'm self-sabotaging myself with like relationships or friendships, like work relationships and friendships, and getting in my own way. But it hasn't slowed my career down at all, which I'm very proud about. Like I have progressed in my career like year after year after year for the last 8 years. And I've climbed the corporate ladder, 9 different roles. So I think the other part of it too is like the other part of not having friends. Sorry if this is like dragging on. This is a terrible video, but I think that I got so focused on self-improvement and breaking like a generational cycle of.
You did nothing though. Sorry, bro. You did nothing. To be honest, self-improvement is far beyond just some physical pursuits. You didn't do the mental work required. You need a strong mind as well as a strong body. Self-improvement isn't just going to the gym and eating clean, which is all people attribute to it. Real self-improvement is aligning the mind, body, and the spirit. Once those are aligned and you're going down the same path, that's when you find purpose. Until that happens, you will be purposeless and wandering and in a constant state of chaos, just like this.
Essentially poverty and things like that I've spent like the last, let's say 13, 14 years, like so dedicated and focused on becoming a better version of myself that I've self-improved myself out of friendships and like any feeling of normality.
You did no work.
I don't care how like much that's helped me progress in my career.
Delusion.
Because it hasn't helped me feel better socially or hasn't helped me like relax at a monologue or any of those things. And it's a bummer to think that for 3 years, I still feel like I'm basically back to square one from like a friend's perspective. And that's, again, that's unfortunate. And it's something that I still want to take time to figure out. And I am actively trying to hang out with people, but I always find like an excuse or reason, like after hanging out like one time.
Enough said. There you go. Listen, bro, don't just because you went out on one little get together with the boys or your new friend or whatever, coworkers, and then you do the same bullshit again. You're running in circles. And there's people in the comment section just literally relating to this guy's issues. I'm 36. Also, I suffer from overthinking, anxiety, bouts of isolation. You're not alone. Most people don't want to discuss anything deeper than the weather, news, their kids, their problems. I'm 51, no friends, but I realize it's better to be alone than be in the company of bad people. Nobody said you had to have bad people, bro. You have no friends. That's, again, coping. Vanessa, it's a woman, so she's coping. I'm 37, don't have friends. I know people, but I like being alone. Okay, cool. I'm 58, have no friends, no lovers, never been in a relationship. I no longer want it. That's a cope. You could never get it anyways. And I'm very happy just being alone. Trust me, you're not, because you've wanted a relationship and you just couldn't get one. 38, no friends, no drama, more time to myself and hobbies. I'm happy. Again, it's like the strong, independent boss babes. The more you have to say you're strong and independent, the less you actually are. It's a coping mechanism. They're projecting. I'm happy. I'm happy. I like being alone. I'm happy. If you have to constantly say that shit after your comment, then you're not happy. You are alone. You're crying in your bed at night, wishing you had a family, wishing you had friends. The reality of the situation. We can't look at women that are like strong, independent cat ladies collecting a bunch of furry creatures and box wine, and they're telling you how much they don't need men, but all they can do is talk about how all they do is talk about men, excuse me. Men as the focus of their lives, getting married, having kids, all this, all they can talk about is the things they don't have and they don't need. And the comment section just seems to be more people echoing the same kind of sentiment in general. Reading through these, me too, no friends, try not to overthink, blah, 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 blah. But guys, all of this stems from within. It's his own voices. He's repeating the same issues over and over again, despite knowing what he has to do. Self-improvement is also the mental aspect of things, and he's got a lot of work to do in that regard. Again, the guy is already starting off really well. Just a good-looking cat. He's young. He's got a great career, it looks like. He's just missing one piece of the puzzle. 2, actually. It's the spiritual and the mental picture of self-improvement. Once he gets those, man, he's going to be a happy, content, and live a purposeful life. But he's got one of the 3 checked. The physicality is there. And that's the easiest one to attain, by the way. The next easiest is the mental, and then the hardest is the spiritual purpose. So it's a battle, but he's on the right path. It's just, this is a good example of how most of these are self-inflicted, and all these people share similar personality traits. Okay. And we went from bandana looking weirdo creep vibe 27-year-old virgin dude to like Chad jeans to 57-year-old man with already 2 kids married. Also, we're seeing like all extreme walks of life, but these people share similar outcomes of loneliness, isolation, and the only thing they have in common is personality traits. I'm telling you guys just how important that stuff is. If you enjoy these kinds of episodes, or you're more interested in the private community and joining us on calls and discussing topics like this, check out these videos above. They're all the group community chats that I post. We're covering that book so you could see us talking about some of these psychological aspects of everything. Links are all in the description below. Appreciate everybody that's been getting shirts, doing the private consults. If you wanted something a bit more private, all of it goes to the channel directly to help support everything. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on, topics like this. My take on it, especially, might rub people the wrong way, but it is what it is.